Coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast, it's the PHLY Eagles podcast with Zach Berman and Bo Wulf. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast. Bo Wulf, Zach Berman, presented by Goedert Dental Group and True Mark Financial Credit Union. The Eagles practiced today for the third day in a row. No pads, but still got some good work in ahead of Thursday night's preseason opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. And Zach, most importantly, it is Ospreys Eve.
Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling well. I'm excited for the show. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Little hesitation there. What is that? A little wistfulness?
More than a little. I mean, but no, I'm excited for the show.
Okay. Now, let's talk at the top about the trade that was made last night. Thomas Booker sent to the Las Vegas Raiders for Jacorian Bennett. Nick Sirianni spoke about it a little bit today. We talked to some of the players about it, but I knew deep down in my guts that when you were not responding to text messages about a potential emergency podcast last night, I knew it was an Advil PM night.
You know me well, Bo. 6 years working together every day. You know me well. Yeah.
Not since Doug Peterson got COVID have we had a similar issue.
Yeah. I mean, there've been Advil PM nights, but there haven't been trades or news during it. So yeah. So my view on the deal, it's similar to what you guys discussed. I like the deal first off for Howie. It makes sense in that. Clearly, we heard Vic Fangio say yesterday there hasn't been separation at cornerback. This is a spot where they can continue to look to add.
So do you think he's competing to start?
I think that he could compete to start, but I think more likely it's the Isaiah Rodgers role, which actually makes me wonder, like, is there a chance Adoree Jackson doesn't make the team? You know? But Bennett, I thought Fran's analysis, Fran's draft analysis, was really helpful last night. Hearing him, he doesn't fit that Pete Carroll style, so that's why he's expendable. I think he was their only cornerback under 6 feet, but he makes sense for what the Eagles do. He has starting experience. You bring him in, and whether it's competing with Ringo and with Jackson, although it's a little late in camp, it's not out of the question. This was around the time they added Darby. Darby was better. But this was around the time that they added Darby. They added Darby after the first preseason game in 2017. So that's the first thing there. And then you're trading from a position of strength. And we know that their top three at defensive tackle solidified in Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro, Ojomo. Ty Robinson's going to be in that mix too. So he's 4. And then as we've mentioned, Gabe Hall has pushed to be part of that rotation. So you have Gabe Hall now with a likely chance of making the roster. Bennett.
I should note for the record for the audio listeners that Jane has been getting into these tattoos lately, and so I have a rainbow tattoo on my arm. Some people might say it's in honor of Gabe Hall.
Who would say that?
Depending on your pronunciation, could be you.
Gabe Hall. So in any event, I like the aggressiveness from Howie here. Thomas Booker was, I thought, a good piece, but he was a depth piece for them, and Bennett could potentially be, if not a starter, your third or fourth corner on the outside.
I think you're right to say, like, ideally he's filling the Isaiah Rodgers role with maybe less inside flex. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But I do think it tells you a story about that the Eagles are a little bit worried about the secondary at the moment. For sure. And, Vic Fangio, I thought made that clear yesterday, right? I mean, if someone was, it's not like they're neck and neck because, it's no one separated himself yet. That's the interpretation I had, is that neither one has separated himself from the other. Sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean in a bad way that they're
No, but it means that they're still trying to figure out who their starting corner is.
And I don't think that either one of them has been bad. You know, like for instance, Jimmy Kempski, not to speak out of school, but today was the day that he goes around and asks all the beat writers stock up, stock down. And I heard that there were some people going stock down for Kelee Ringo, which I get because he hasn't won the job yet. But I don't think that Kelee Ringo has been bad. He almost committed involuntary manslaughter today, which we will get to. But
almost.
I just think that he hasn't taken a leap, and maybe that equates to stock down.
Yeah.
But I also think that Adoree Jackson has been fine. It's not like they're getting torched, either of them.
No, they are definitely not getting torched. And Ringo gave up some big plays earlier in camp. Hasn't done that as much since then. Yeah, I think they've been fine. But even if you look at depth at that spot, you pointed out yesterday that like the Eli Ricks shine might be a little too much. Like he's been fine, but as Vic said, there's some bad plays in there too. They have Mac McWilliams, who we know they like,
and we should say return to practice.
Today.
My expectation is he will play on Thursday night. I actually will give you what I expect to be the starting lineups for both sides of the ball.
I'm eager to hear that. But I don't look at it as if they have like these really hard cuts to make at corner. And there's some like at D tackle, I think there was going to be a hard cut to make if they weren't going to keep Gabe Hall.
I think they would have kept 6.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they would have kept all 6.
Yeah.
Now we haven't talked about Byron Young, and Sirianni gassed up Byron Young a little bit today, but I have not quite seen that, but maybe I'm missing it. What else did you hear about the trade from the guys?
Well, J.Alex Hunt, I think it was a question you asked, is really going to miss Thomas Booker.
Glue guy,
real good locker room guy.
Yeah.
And so that's something that came up. I
asked Josh Uche about it in the sense of, I mean, it's such a thing in passing, right? Like, oh, the Eagles traded this guy for this guy. Meanwhile, Thomas Booker's got to move to Las Vegas. Jacorian Bennett's got to move to Philadelphia. Like they're starting a new job with all these new people. They gotta, it's a crazy thing. There's nothing else like that.
Yeah. I mean,
and so Uche had been traded mid-season. So he said it's a little bit easier in camp at least because then you still get to like be with the team. But from like a lifestyle standpoint, it's just a weird thing.
Yeah, there's a human element to this.
It's bizarre.
Very much so, right? Like, there's I imagine there's a lot of anxiety and trepidation, all that stuff. Yeah.
Did you consider trying to hide in Thomas Booker's suitcase so that you could also live in Las Vegas?
No, I want to live right where my wife and kids live. Okay. So wherever they are, they could live in Kalamazoo, and that's where I would go.
Okay. But maybe you can do a Thomas Booker story. Take a little trip out to Las Vegas.
Well, I would never say no to a trip to Vegas. You kidding me? I mean, why go to Paris when you can go to the Eiffel Tower in Vegas? You have you have Monte Carlo, you have Paris, you have Venice. I mean, you don't need to go to Europe. It's all right there, right on the strip.
That's it. That's the selling point.
That's the selling point.
Yeah. Okay.
I keep reading these articles about how Vegas is getting hit hard right now, like with tourism. And I'm like, I could probably find some good deals there.
Forget about the plight of the every worker. This is just a nice arbitrage opportunity for you to go.
Yeah.
Although I will say, I guess if you are going if you're going to get relocated and you have nowhere to live, I would say that actually Vegas is a good place. Like there's going to be plenty of hotel space to put you up in comfortable accommodations at least.
True. You hope that
I don't know where the Raiders put them up, but yeah.
Yeah, you're probably in a nice room when you're in Vegas. Yeah,
I would imagine so. Yeah. Okay.
Not the rooms we stayed at.
No, not the suicide capital of Las Vegas, as was explained to us.
Is that blood on the sheets? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Yuck. Okay. Today's practice. What was your number one takeaway from today's practice? Yeah,
so let's start with the red zone drill that was happening right in front of us there. I thought 2 really nice passes from Jalen Hurts in that red zone drill.
I agree.
So if you're not doing like the big picture, good day, bad day, you're doing, the contextualized this pass, which I've learned.
Sure. And if you're doing, if you are keeping track, I do believe this is the 10th practice. This is 10 practices in a row where your number one takeaway is related to the quarterback.
Well, so the touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley, it was.
Oh, the Saquon one. Actually, that was not one of my two.
No, the Jahan Dotson one was the best.
Okay, well, the people didn't get to see it. So
these were the 2 passes. So first, I'm doing it sequentially in order.
Okay.
Saquon, it was across the middle to Saquon. It was like a Texas route.
Yep.
And he comes across and just perfectly in stride. Yep. It was 1st and 10 at the 10.
Yes,
I believe
this was their compete period.
Yes, yeah, 1st and 10 from the 10, and just a strike right across the middle. Saquon shakes free. It was a good pattern, a good pass. It's what you want to see in the red zone. And then the second one, and this one was real impressive to Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson ran a crossing pattern back of the end zone. Jalen,
really nice pass.
Yeah. Jalen threw it high. Saquon goes up and gets it. Real nice job there.
Dotson does, yes. And this was with Cooper DeJean
in coverage.
Trailing. And so it was a really nice throw.
Yeah.
Because he also had to layer it over the linebacker.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect from Jalen today.
I also thought he made a really nice, when you said the 2, I thought the other one was the ball he lobbed up to Dallas Goedert in the back of the end zone.
Yes.
Goedert really had to go up and get it. I thought that was a beautiful pass.
You're right. That was probably the best catch of the day. Yeah. And so that period stood out. Moro Ojomo every day. He had, I would say, 2 sacks today. There was the one where he kind of knifed through Dickerson, and then he pushed Toth back at one point. So Moro Ojomo's day stood out. The end of practice, Elijah Cooks made 2 consecutive plays, a touchdown, then 2-point conversion. And he seems to be just stacking days.
I agree.
And in terms of down the depth chart players, you saw Darius Cooper make some plays today.
I'm not so sure he's that far down the depth chart.
Okay, explain.
I think Darius Cooper has a chance to make the team. I think Darius Cooper, we talked about him yesterday, rookie from Tarleton State, a little bit smaller. He's got some juice. He has been making plays every day the last week or so. Nick Sirianni shouted him out today. He said he's very talented. I don't know why he couldn't make the team over Ainias Smith if you're going to keep that body type of a wide receiver.
Agree.
I like Darius Cooper a lot. I think there's a chance he makes the team. I give a shout out to BLG, who I believe was first on Darius Cooper.
Is there any chance that Cam Crush can change?
No, that's not how love works. Yeah.
When you're in 5th grade, your crush didn't change. You had the same crush the whole.
Well, I know I didn't memorize their numbers like you did, but.
I wasn't crushes. Those were friends. Back then, you used to call people.
Oh, sure.
I didn't get a cell phone until I was 17.
Okay.
So, yeah, back then, you used to call people's house numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you just plug someone's phone number in,
Yeah.
A lot of people don't
How
even
many
know.
current numbers do you think you know?
I know my wife's number.
Yeah, I would hope.
And then, I know my mother's number. I know my grandparents' number, and honestly, that's like about it for the numbers. Most of the numbers I know are the people I called.
Long-standing numbers.
Yeah, are the people I called back when we would call people's.
Sure.
I call people's houses.
You do remember Julia's old number?
I might. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No, I'm not gonna.
It's not the same number anymore.
Oh no, I never memorized your cell phone number, your house number. Honestly, I have so much in my head right now. Is it the last 4 digits? The first one was 5, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know the last 4 digits.
Give us the last 4. We're not gonna.
Okay.
No one's gonna know the first 6.
5779. Is that right? 5884.
Not even close.
Not even close. All right.
Good thing you hit on the 5.
Yeah.
And it felt like you knew it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also, that number's been disconnected for like 10 years. So
I gotta say, Bo, I've had a cloudy mind for about 6 weeks. I'm being transparent with the audience. I haven't been the sharpest tool in the shed in the past. I think some of the commenters might agree with that, but during these past 6 weeks, yeah.
I think you're doing fine.
Oh, thank you.
But
Thank you.
I
Although
know you're going through it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Got to say what?
No, for half of that time, you weren't on the show, so you didn't see it. Yeah. But these past few weeks doing the show with you has been awesome.
He's feeling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Darius Cooper can make the team. I don't think it's crazy.
No,
It's been a while since the Eagles have had an undrafted rookie wide receiver pop. You know what I mean? And I think there would be some nice karmic justice to the Eagles having a black wide receiver named Cooper.
True. Yeah, when you think of like the camp standouts at wide receiver, down the depth chart guys, it's been more in the Elijah Cooks mold, like your futures contract players,
right? Or your DeAndre Carters.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm thinking
Better.
like Deontay. I'm thinking of Deontay Burnett, players like that, who've been place to place. Elijah Cooks, you put Elijah Cooks and Darius Cooper. I think Johnny Wilson's going to be on the team. You heard Nick Sirianni gassing him up today.
Mm-hmm.
I emphasize gassing just for old time's sake, as opposed to gassing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he Nick said.
Let us know in the show if there are any other things you want to do for old time's sake.
God, you're gonna make me emotional, man. In any event, Johnny Wilson, Nick Sirianni said has been one of their best special teams players, right? So that jumps out to me, and he was with first team yesterday. But if you told me that Cooks and Cooper have been wide receiver 4 and 5 this camp, I wouldn't vociferously push back.
I agree with that. Now, we talked about yesterday. I do think that Ainias Smith has looked better this summer, and you're thinking about the draft pick investment. Do you keep him around for that reason? For the reasons you said, I think Wilson's probably a little bit safer on the roster than Smith is. But if you're thinking about upside on offense, right now, I don't think there's any doubt that Cooks gives more. And I think Darius Cooper is a player worth investing in.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I tend to like to...
Man, this is good. This is a nice transition from we started at Jalen Hurts and now we're spending 8 minutes on Darius Cooper.
Yes. And they have a track record of keeping undrafted rookies. And the thing I will add is it's not just, this guy earned the role on the team, but one thing the Eagles scouts do is they advertise this to agents. They promote this to agents. It's like, look how many undrafted players we keep. And so, not to say that they would lean toward an undrafted rookie, but sometimes with someone like Ainias Smith, I thought Fran put it best. Like what is he for you? What's he going to do for you? And I think I think Darius Cooper can do more for you this year than Ainias Smith.
I think that's probably right. Although I will say I haven't seen Cooper do a ton of return stuff.
Yeah.
So that would be a tool that would be helpful in his bag.
I just don't know if Smith needs to be their returner, is my point. They have some other options there.
Okay. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. And if you are curious about who's going to play on Thursday night, I will give you what the Eagles had on their little walkthrough today, and you can find out who's going to play. We have no interest in the leftist felon here at the PHLY Eagles podcast. No. Only the righteous felon for us. Because if you are craving the perfect snack that delivers your hunger and provides the right amount of protein to fulfill your body's daily needs, it's got to be Righteous Felon. Righteous Felon beef jerky and meat sticks, they trace their roots back to the hallways of Downingtown Middle School when they were calling each other on their home cell phone, on their home phones, memorizing numbers, and thinking, what if we make a company? And they did it. They delivered. The Exton, PA-based company has been making all-natural, premium quality, better-for-you meat snacks for over a decade, and they evolved into the region's preeminent jerky brand. The packaging is fun and engaging. The flavors, bold and tantalizing. The texture, oh, so tender and soft. These are, without question, the best meat snacks around. And we're only kind of saying that because they're a sponsor. It's true. The jerky and sticks are sold in favorite local retailers like Wawa, where right now there is a great 2 bags for $10. Best value you'll see anywhere deal. There's also a Giant, Costco, Royal Farms, and thousands of independent stores. What's more, Righteous Felon helps fuel your favorite Philly athletes by working with the nutritionists of each local pro sports team to provide jerky and sticks for players to eat before and after workouts and as a refueling snack during games. So if Righteous Felon jerky and sticks are good enough to keep Philly's pro athletes performing at the top of their game, they got to be good enough for you, the jabroni at home listening and watching. If you're the kind of person who wants a deal and snacks delivered to your doorstep, you can order online at righteousfelon.com using discount code PHLY20 for 20% off. They have all kinds of cool variety packs and bundles on the site, so it's also the perfect gift for that special meat snack lover in your life. Again, that's discount code PHLY20 for 20% off your order on righteousfelon.com.
We've all been there, trying to power through summer plans with a nagging injury or stubborn pain. But when rest is not cutting it, it's time to call in the experts. That's why we trust Rothman Orthopedics. Whether you're running on the beach, swinging your golf clubs, or lifting the little ones for a pool day, Rothman specialists are here to treat what's holding you back. Their top-tier care will have you moving and enjoying every minute of summer. If pain is slowing you down this season, take the first step. Head to rothmanortho.com/PHLY and schedule your appointment today. Rothman Orthopedics, your summer, your mobility, their mission.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, I should say that the Duff Man is in the chat and says that Darius Cooper did have a nice rep on kickoff return the other day. So he has been mixing in there. Good to know. It's time for the big deal presented by Cherry Hill Kia. The big deal. Here's what I got. Here's who's going to play.
I love this.
On Sunday.
This is B reporting right here.
On defense. The expected starting 11. You've got Josh Uche at left defensive end. You've got Gabe Hall at defensive tackle. You've got Ty Robinson at defensive tackle. And you've got Azeez Ojulari on the other side at defensive end. At linebacker, the first round pick from Alabama, Jahan Campbell.
I love that.
Joined by his fellow rookie, Georgia's Smile Mondin, one of the stars of training camp thus far. In the secondary, at left cornerback, another draft pick, Mac McWilliams. On the other side, Ivanka Trump's number one fan, Eli Ricks. At safety, Tristan McCollum and Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown going to be out there in the preseason game, not getting the starter treatment, going to have some reps. And by the way, Brandon Johnson at the nickel, no big deal. I'm sure he'll rotate with Perry Nickerson, but he got the reps today. On offense, who's lining up on the offensive line on Thursday night for your Philadelphia Eagles? With Tanner McKee under center, Kendall Lamb at left tackle, Brett Toth at left guard, the rookie Drew Kendall at center. The switch continues on the right side with Darian Kennard at guard and Matt Pryor at right tackle, with wide receivers Ainias Smith, Johnny Wilson, and Darius Cooper.
So what's interesting about that lineup there, and that's good intel by you, is it's a departure from the way Vic Fangio handled the preseason opener last year. Okay, the preseason opener last year, Jalen Carter started. You remember he knifed through Baltimore's front. Jordan Davis started. Bryce Huff, who was still a starter then, started.
Yeah.
They had Zach Bond, they were still figuring out, but it was Zach Bond and Devin White were the linebackers. They had Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers, Avonte Maddox out there, and they had Reed Blankenship. So they did not.
Now, it is possible that the starters will play on defense for a series.
Okay, but that's...
And this is like the
majority of it.
These are the guys who are really going to play.
Sure.
So that is possible.
Okay. But yeah, I'm curious to see, because we know how Nick has operated in the preseason these past 2 years. Like Hurts isn't going to, the starters are not going to play. I'm curious to see if Steen plays, but my guess is no. Although last year, Mekhi Becton started at right guard in the preseason opener. He had not won that job yet.
Right.
But
nor had they seen him play guard in a game.
Yeah. but there were no starters that played on offense really last year in the preseason. And then defensively, we heard Vic say that he wanted guys to play. So in the Patriots game, there are some guys that played. In obviously the Ravens game. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see if that is different this year. When Nick was asked today if Vic has input, he said it's up to Howie and me, right? So I think the GM is really making the call here.
Do you think on those those lines, as I joked last night, do you think that Vic Fangio watched any Jacory and Bennett film?
It's a good joke.
It's not that good of a joke.
Well, no, because
he's reference.
Yeah, well, because the players that he likes, he watches their film, and the players that he doesn't watch their film.
Well, and he said he didn't watch Adoree Jackson.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer to that. I mean, look, I imagine that he has watched him at some point, but I don't know if like this week they told him to watch Bennett film because there's enough practice film for Vic Fangio to digest.
Okay. All right, that'll do it for the big deal presented by Cherry Hill Kia. Love it. Good stuff. You want a good deal? Only one place to go, Cherry Hill Kia. Other notes from today. Spermazoid. Let's talk about the murder we saw.
Yes.
The near murder.
Yes.
7-on-7. Great rep from Kelee Ringo. Running across the field with Jahan Dotson. Or was it DeVonta? I think it might have been DeVonta. It was DeVonta. And Jalen tries to dump it off to DeVonta. Kelee gets a hand on it.
Yeah.
Pops into the air. Can he catch it? Drops it. Continues running full speed and just trucks over the old man ref.
Yeah, I was going to say the officials got to get out of the way.
And then Kelee just keeps sprinting up the sideline as if it was a hit and run. Like he nailed a guy and just needed to get out of the scene.
Yeah. The ref was down for a few seconds.
Yeah.
When he stood up, the crowd gave him an applause. Yeah. Like in Little League or what. Yeah. He hit him hard.
I'm thinking this guy was 63.
Okay.
That's a guess.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine he's going to hurt tomorrow morning. He took a hit.
He did need to move out of the way.
He could have moved out of the way.
I agree. He had some time.
Like,
I agree.
It was all happening in front of us here. You know, it wasn't like a surprise that Kelee Ringo was running at you, and he wasn't holding like a chain or anything, right?
No.
Yes, he was just kind of
I mean, it's a good reminder that this incredibly difficult job of seeing everything that is happening on a football field of 22 of the best athletes in the world. I'm not trying to be ageist, but our 65-year-old's the best equipped that we have to handle those things.
Have you ever wanted to be an official?
Never.
Do you think you'd be a good one?
Of course.
That's a very Bo answer. Yes.
Probably the best.
I would be such a bad official.
Why?
I feel I would have so much empathy out there, right? I mean, if if I would be so persuaded by someone complaining about the complaining about the calls that I would I'd be the official who gives them one next time, right? Like the makeup call.
You'd be swayed by the fans as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting because journalistically,
you want your integrity. You want your integrity.
Just call it down the line.
Yeah, I got to admit, if Dr. Goldsmith's watching this, he's my boss at Colorado State. My final grades were due this week. My 3 years teaching, the most lenient grading I've done yet was this year.
Interesting.
Yeah. A little.
You think that's because of what's going on in your life?
Maybe I was a little more melancholy, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. I was probably a little more empathetic this year to the students than ever before.
So if any of your students are watching, know that the grade that you actually deserve is actually a couple ticks below what you're going to get.
Or maybe I listened to the comments from the years past where I was too hard of a grader. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the lowest grade? Have you ever failed anybody?
Near failed. Not F, but
D minus.
No, last year there was the last year there was close to that.
Okay.
But no, I would be, as an official, I think, like, if I'm just being transparent about my personality here. If Nick was like, how did you miss, how'd you miss that? I'd be like, shoot, did I miss that? Did I screw that one up?
Yeah.
I need to have more courage in my convictions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just be like, F you. Get out of my face.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Okay. What else caught your eye from practice today?
Yeah, so there was a Cooper DeJean interception today. And I'm curious, did you mark this a Trotter sack, or did you mark it a DeJean interception?
Well, I marked it an interception, but it was more about
Goedert
slipping
yeah.
as he came out of the break.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to describe the play to the audience, Trotter blitzed, got in, and Jalen threw it up. And Goedert slipped out of the break, so it was an easy catch for DeJean, but it was DeJean's third. It was DeJean's first interception. It was Jalen Hurts' third interception of the summer. I think that was more on Goedert slipping. It also might have been a sack.
Yeah.
In that case. So that was a play that stood out. Will Shipley, nice touchdown catch from Tanner McKee.
Yep.
On the right sideline. Shipley's been good. Do you think he's the running back too, or do you think it's Dylan?
I think Shipley is the running back too. But I think there might still be a role for Dylan.
Agreed. What else stood out to you?
I'm going through my notes here. Eli Ricks gave up a touchdown to no, that's not right. To Kelee Robinson. There was a really nice rep from Nolan Smith running down the field with Saquon Barkley on the route.
Yes, you're right about
forcing
that.
an incompletion.
You're right about that.
That was a nice rep to see.
Yep.
Because he gets tasked with that.
The right sideline. Yeah.
One thing I would say is we have seen a good bit of DeVonta Smith in pre-snap motion the last few days.
Okay.
And as you're thinking about, last year, well, maybe Kellen Moore is going to add some motion to this offense.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a little bit more of that of late, and it has mostly been DeVonta. And it was especially interesting today, thinking of what Christian Parker said yesterday about Quinyon Mitchell not following guys on teams where they're often in motion. And so even though it was DeVonta Smith and Ainias Smith and Johnny Wilson as the three receivers, Quinyon was following Johnny Wilson because DeVonta was the one going across and often was in the slot. And so that would be Cooper DeJean's man.
And that's where you'll see DeVonta quite a bit this year. Speaking to DeVonta after practice, he was effusive in his praise of Quinyon Mitchell. How like Quinyon is really making it difficult for the wide receivers this year. And as you like to say, DeVonta is a reliable narrator. And even Jalen Hurts, stopped Quinyon Mitchell, whether it was in the locker room or the hallway or the cafeteria, stopped him somewhere.
Tell me about this.
And said that he asked Quinyon, what's different about you this year? And Quinyon said confidence. And so I followed up with Jalen because Jalen is someone who, whether you love him, whether you don't love him, one of the things that Jalen knows his status, right? That's one, he knows every interaction he has is like an important interaction, right? And so for him to stop someone and he says it's very intentional that he does it. It's part curiosity, but he also kind of wants to implement something with that guy, right? So he thought that was an important connection to make with Quinyon.
I also thought it was interesting in the beginning when he was talking about camp, and he thinks they've had a pretty good camp because it's been so competitive. He mentioned the camaraderie aspect of it, which I think I'm not so sure that Jalen would have bought into in the past. That the camaraderie with the team is one of the important things.
That's a good point.
Especially
he was so robotic in the past.
Especially when it was kind of like veiled shots at Nick sometimes in
true.
the past.
Yeah.
I think that's like a bit of a sign of growth.
Yes.
Because I think there have been times when the guys on the team would tell you that they don't feel like Jalen necessarily cares about that as much.
Yeah, and look, I don't know if Jalen is hanging out with everyone in there. I can't say that, but I think that maybe he is less robotic this year than in some others. I don't know that to be I don't know if that's true or false, but certainly in public settings, I think he's been a little more. He's been a little less that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his press conferences have been pretty good this summer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, a little bit less, nothing but, robot speak.
Also, just on the topic of press conferences, I thought you asked a good question to Nick. That was a follow up to our conversation yesterday with Fran.
Yeah.
And the question was essentially, when your best players are that competitive, or is that intentional? And Nick,
is it rare?
Is it rare? Yeah. And Nick said your best players need to be the most competitive. Like
he said, on good teams.
On good teams.
On good teams, your best players need to be the most competitive.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that speaks to how Fran said this is something that they look for in the scouting process. Because you're right. There have been times in the past where their best players might not have practiced the way these guys practice. And even Jalen was asked about the preseason, and I don't think he was just giving Jalen speak here. He's he would want to play whenever he's
Yeah.
I think Jalen would like to play in the preseason games, honestly.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's obviously not going to.
Right. Okay. Let's take a break. Come back on the other side with more from Zach Berman. Last day in studio. If you have an outlet that has been driving you nuts or driving your significant other nuts, and you said you would fix it, it's been on your to-do list, and you can't get around to it. You got other stuff going on. I relate. And that's where the good folks at Ace Hardware Home Services come in, right as the slide comes on the bottom from Julia. Beautifully done. Ace Hardware Home Services has the person to help you, because now they're not just the helpful hardware folks. They are the helpful home service and repair folks. From plumbing and electrical to heating and cooling, they've got the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services. They're bringing helpful home, the helpful you love, from the store now to your front door, from Philly to the Jersey Shore. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project.
I always like speaking about our friends at TrueMark Financial Credit Union, where Julia went to high school, because
that's where you went to high school.
No, they're headquartered. They are headquartered where TrueMark went to high school. That is, they are headquartered. They are headquartered where Julia went to high school, which is in Fort Washington. It's a local company, which I like, and what I also like is that they are helping kids with financial literacy. Summer's here.
Like imagining Sunday Night Football, Julia Hoff, TrueMark Financial Credit Union.
Summer's here, which means that the kids are out and about. They're hanging with friends, maybe even picking up a summer job. It's the perfect time to set them up with something that teaches real-world money skills and gives them a little freedom. That's the Greenlight Debit Card and Money app. If you're a TrueMark Financial member, you can get a free Greenlight account for your kids or your teens. It's a simple way for them to manage their own money, whether it's from a job allowance or birthday cash. They'll get their own debit card, can set savings goals, track spending, learn how to budget, all while you stay in the loop from your phone. You're still in control, but they get to learn how money works in everyday life. So before the summer rush kicks in, this is a good way to help your kids build smart money habits that'll stick with them long after the season's over. Head over to TrueMark.com/Greenlight. Get all the details and sign up today. Don't miss the chance to set your kids up for financial success.
We've also got the Doodad Dental Bright Smile Sweepstakes going on this week and every week until the end of the month. What this is that every week we are giving away a Philips Teeth Whitening Home Kit to a lucky winner. One a week. And all you got to do is go to allphly.com/Doodad Dental Group and enter the Doodad Dental Bright Smile Sweepstakes. And then at the end of August, we're giving away a grand prize to a winner who will take home an Oral-B IO toothbrush, top of the line tech for your teeth. No purchase necessary. Once again, allphly.com/Doodad Dental Group. Check it out. All right, Zach, tomorrow on the show, we're going to hear from Mina Kimes.
Yep.
You and I'm going to sort of give you a chance to get whatever Eagles predictions or takes you have off your chest. Are there any league-wide takes that you want to disseminate now?
Oh, okay. I was
Before you
preparing
get
for
this
the
week.
camp takes, but
Or
I'm ready.
camp takes.
No,
whatever.
I'll save those
Anything
for.
you want to get off your chest.
I'll save
Now's
those
the
for
chance.
tomorrow. Save those for tomorrow. Well, I should say I'm not like I mean, hopefully I'm still alive next week. Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah.
We are going to have a very nice night celebrating you tomorrow night. After this week, we're never mentioning your name again on the show.
Gosh. Oh, man. I hope not. Look, I'll say this tomorrow night, but like this show has had such an outsized role. Like this show has mattered too much to me, if anything. Like I care that this has consumed my life to the point, like it's consumed my health. It's consumed my
You look good.
It's consumed my sanity. It's consumed like
That I do think that has been slipping.
yeah, like this. Yeah, I care so much about this show. Like more than I can articulate. So yeah, I mean, look, I recognize that the show moves. You know, my wife made a point to me recently, where she's like, you know, Sex and the City ended, Seinfeld ended. Like, you know, like you're not that like Zach, you're not that important.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, you know, because I'm like saying there. I'm like saying to her, I'm like, Emily, like, I'm reading all these comments and it's like, it breaks my, she's like, the world moves on without you, Zach.
Yeah.
You're not that important. You know, that's Emily's role in my life. Is like, you're not that important. Well, she has more than that role in my life, but that's, but she keeps me humble.
But that's job number one.
Yeah. So I get it. The show will go on, but I personally, will be very invested in the show still. Like I will be watching, commenting, reading, all that. So anyways.
Julia, don't you dare put one of those comments up.
Yeah. So league-wide takes. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be really good.
No, here we go.
I had to for old time's sake.
That's
yes.
good.
Yes. I actually think the Chiefs are going to be really good this year. But no, I'm buying the Ravens. I'm buying the Lions in the NFC.
Okay.
No, I think the Eagles are going to be.
Okay, so last year's 2 1 seeds. Or no, I guess KC was the 1 seed. But.
Yeah. No, I think the Eagles and the Lions are the clear 2 best teams in the NFC.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of Rams hype. I tend to listen to Joe Banner. I think Joe Banner knows what he's talking about, and he thinks not enough's being made about the Matthew Stafford injury right now. So I kind of have my eyes peeled, like it's not enough being made about the Matthew Stafford injury right now. But I am bullish on Baltimore. I thought that, look, they were close last year. I like some of what they did this offseason. Their secondary is absolutely loaded. I think that pass rush is going to be good. I like, Isaiah Likely needs to get healthy, but I think Isaiah Likely is a guy who's really going to come on. Their wide receivers, I don't really think they have a weakness there. I like the coaching staff. So I'm all in on the Ravens this year. I am fascinated to see what happens with Travis Hunter. I know people are preparing for their fantasy drafts. I think Travis Hunter is going to be an offensive player too. And I think he's going to produce on offense as well. I find some of these predictions interesting that on defense, when he's on defense, teams are just going to run deep just to try to get him tired. But I've heard how his cardio is just ridiculous.
Also they're not gonna just do that
just for him.
Stop him being off. They're gonna run the plays that they think are gonna be successful.
It sounds like Joe Burrow's gonna play tomorrow night. But I'm buying Joe Burrow. This year.
I mean, so far this has just been the Jadeveon Clowney situation.
This has just been chalk. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't prepared for,
I know.
For this part of it.
I'm
down on Washington. I think Washington's getting a little too much buzz. I am higher on Dallas, although it seems to be, I think Micah Parsons is going to sign a contract before the season. I expect Micah to be out there. I think Dallas is going to be better than people think. I know they're kind of like a laughingstock now. I've always been a Russell Wilson guy, as you know, but not sold on the Giants.
Okay.
Although I think that defensive front's going to be good. I think Arizona's going to be better than people think. I think Seattle's going to be worse than people think.
Okay.
I need to see about the Stafford situation. I obviously like San Francisco. Rolling down, I've been watching. I mean, CHGO, our Bears coverage does such a good job. I've been watching their show some, and they're all in on Colston Loveland. But I'm curious to see how that Bears offensive line holds up. They bring in Tooney, they bring in Jonah Jackson. I still think that's the big question there. I really like the Vikings. I like the whole NFC North. I just think I think JJ McCarthy is going to have a strong year. I'm not as sold on the Packers as some other people are. You know what show I'm really going to miss is the over-unders.
Spread your wins and fly.
Yeah, I'm really going to miss that one. And I'd like the Falcons.
Zach, we love you. You got to move on. Yeah, once you get there, I mean.
Yeah, don't like the Saints.
Well, I mean, bold take.
Don't like the Saints this year at all. I think the Falcons in the NFC South.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have some super chats.
Okay.
To get to, and then you can tell me what it is that you actually wanted to talk about. Ed Palencia says, "Hey sickos, hypothetical, what would vault Jalen Hurts into unanimous top 5 quarterback? Winning the Super Bowl in 2000 or MVP in 2022, or if he had won the MVP in 2022, you will be missed." Essentially, if the Eagles had won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs the first time, or if Jalen had won MVP, would he be considered a top 5 quarterback?
Yeah, maybe. I think if he won MVP in 2022, because he played outstanding in the Super Bowl. I don't think. Now look, if he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, maybe you say that. Although, were people saying that about Roethlisberger when he was a 2-time champ, that he was a top 5 quarterback?
I think so.
Okay. At that point,
maybe. Yeah.
I think Jalen's gonna. I
think if he had won 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, and
Sure.
had played that great in both
of
Super
them.
Bowls,
Yeah.
and had won MVP in 22, I think he probably would be considered
like
top 5.
I made a list of some of these training camp takeaways for the show, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to throw for 4,000 yards this year. Now he needs to stay healthy to do that.
Okay.
He has not thrown for 4,000 yards in his career, and I think
you have been on this. You think it's going to be a pretty significant departure from the way that they played offense last year?
Yes, I do. I think they're going to pass the ball. First off, I don't think they're going to be leading in as many games as they were like post bye week last year.
Okay, fair point.
There were second half of games last year where he barely threw the ball, and
their schedule of the defenses they played were all terrible.
Exactly. I'm expecting. I think there's going to be games where he has to pass the ball more, and I just think they're going to pass the ball more. I think the way teams are going to play the Eagles is going to try to force them to pass the ball more. And I think Jalen's going to throw the ball all over the place this year. I think he's going to throw for 4,000 yards. It would not surprise me. But this is the thing about the top. So I think I put him at 5, I believe, right? In terms of getting higher than that, I don't know who he bumps, because Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow, like, they're all worthy, So it's no slight at that point to be number 5, right? If you're in the club, then you're in the club.
Yeah.
To me, like if you're in that tier, it's like Mike Sando does the quarterback tiers. Like if I'm curious to see what tier he's in. If he's in that tier, that's what jumps to me.
Okay. Next super chat from Drew, who says, "Look up music periodization in exercise scientific study, and that might answer your practice day music questions." Let's see.
Is this something we can Google? Is this
music periodization, meat spin, an exercise scientific study? Okay. Well, this is about tempo. Then this was Chip Kelly's whole thing.
Yes.
Was like all the music had to be a certain beats per minute or whatever. But that is not what we are seeing. I mean, when they're playing I Want to Rock and Roll All Night and part, or when it's like country music, that is not what they're doing.
Yeah.
So Alex G, is Zach leaving the show to avoid the mid-August reckoning of Harrison Bryant's serviceability? Is that what you are ducking?
No, I promise you, Harrison Bryant had nothing to do with this decision.
Wow. Poor Harrison Bryant. Watching practice or watching the show after practice, trying to find out where he stands.
If Harrison Bryant could cause this much angst in my life, then he's a powerful man.
I believe August 19th is the day that is Harrison Bryant Day.
I'll be in the chat.
Show. Okay. All right. What else did you? What other takes do you have?
Okay, so from camp here. Okay, so first one, and we've talked about this. Moro Ojomo's legit, right? Like, and we've been documenting this each day. I think that we've been saying that he can be an approximation of Milton Williams. I think he can be Milton Williams. I mean, I don't think it's fluky what he's doing in camp this year, and I'm expecting this to translate. So I am expecting Moro Ojomo to have a like a big time year for the Eagles this year.
4.5 sacks for Moro Ojomo.
Over. What did Milton have last year? 4.5?
Milton had 5 last year.
Okay.
Not including the playoffs. That was a career high.
Yep.
Do you know how many sacks Moro Ojomo has in his career?
He has 0 in the regular season. Correct. He has 1 in the postseason.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm starting to, a good rule of thumb to the audience is listen to Bo. Like, when Bo has something to say.
Full advice.
No, Bo, he knows ball for sure. I'm starting to think Cooper DeJean's long-term home might be safety.
You keep putting that on me. I never said that. I don't remember predicting that.
I thought you did.
You said this the other day too, and this was
you were. Yeah, I thought you were saying that, or that the best spot for him might be safety. Is that what you were saying?
I mean, I don't remember saying that.
You were talking about
It's possible that could be his best position, but not his most valuable position.
Or we had the clip where you were saying that if they think Mac McWilliams can play slot, maybe the best spot for him on this team is safety. Okay,
that's different though.
Okay, I think though I've been saying Cooper DeJean's long-term home is going to be on the outside just because that's the position. That's where the money is, right? But I think that he can be a really good safety. He's picking things up. He's playing. It's clear that he's going to be their safety in base. I mean, that's all they've done this summer is him. And today was a heavy base day, we should say. Mm-hmm. And he was
all red zone stuff.
Yeah, and he was in base quite a bit. So I am starting to warm up to that. I mean, this is, I'm thinking, what did I not know going into camp that I know now? I think Jahan Campbell's going to be a day one starter for the Eagles. Going into camp, we were guessing what days he's going to be back. I think we actually said, we said
the first practice after the preseason.
Yeah. So the fact that
and it's interesting because he has completely flip-flopped with Drew Makuba. Before camp, we would have said it's likely that Drew Makuba is going to be the day one starter. Jahan Campbell might be in the mix based on when he comes back. And now Makuba practiced today a little bit, but I would say it's pretty unlikely that Drew Makuba is going to be the week one starter now, and Jahan Campbell will be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's going to be a noticeable difference in Jahan Dotson this year. I think we've already seen that in practice. Quinyon Mitchell he's establishing himself as like a Pro Bowl, I don't know about all pro, but Pro Bowl caliber cornerback for sure. The Eagles aren't thrilled with their cornerback 2 competition. Maybe that's me projecting, but I think they probably would have hoped someone would have separated themselves, that Kelee would have separated himself, and that hasn't happened yet. I think Elijah Cooks has been the Eagles' 4th best wide receiver. I expect what?
Well, most of these things we talked about in the A block.
Well, yeah, but I wrote these before the show.
Okay.
I have 12 things here. Right guard's going to be shakier than it was the past 2 years. I think Becton gave them quality play last year. Juergens wasn't great there last year, but 2 years ago. But I think Juergens will give them better play than Steen's going to give them this year. Ty Williams is going to have a big contribution to the defensive line.
Ty Robinson?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Ty Robinson. I don't know why I said Ty Williams.
Who's Ty Williams?
Nobody. Ty Robinson.
Wow.
There probably is a Ty Williams out there. It's a common name.
Ty Williams, Australian soccer player.
Okay.
And
for what club?
Minor league baseball player.
For what club?
I don't know. And a safety for Tulane.
Okay. I'm all in on Tulane.
High A pitcher in the Mets farm system. There's also a player in Oklahoma State named Ty Williams. You're right. It's a popular name.
Yeah. I'm all in on Tulane this year. I'm going to be watching Jake Retzlaff.
You're all in on Tulane this year?
Yeah.
That's the most unhinged take you've had so far.
I want to see Jake Retzlaff play.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know the Jake Retzlaff story?
Pete Retzlaff's grandson.
He was the BYU quarterback. He had premarital sexual relations, and
I don't understand. What is that?
he had sexual relations before he was married, I think, which is an honor code violation there.
How did they find out?
Well, there was an accusation of wrongdoing that was dropped. But then he admitted to having I don't know why I'm going down this road. Anyways, he transferred to he was a good quarterback last year. He transferred to Tulane. I'm curious to see him play at Tulane. I'm not condoning any. I don't know what happened.
I'm hesitant to talk about this because I don't know the details of.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Of
Okay,
that thing.
me too.
But I will say,
all right, let's just move on.
To be interested in those kinds of relations. Pretty big culture shock to go from BYU to New Orleans.
Yeah. Anyways, I probably shouldn't have gone down that path. Ty Williams is on Tulane. Will Shipley's gonna be running back 2. Saquon Barkley's leadership has gone up a notch this year.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm giving this. What? Oh, wait, what? All right, what's Super Chat?
My POV life says, ZB, even though you won't say it, we love you.
I love you guys too, honestly. I genuinely love this community that we've built. Like truly, genuinely, heartfelt, love this community that we've built.
Mr. Sandman says, I keep mistaking Zach for Elliott Shore Parks. Zach has better hot takes than Elliott, at least.
Yeah, I guess I got to work on my hot takes. But
I don't think you guys look anything alike.
Elliott does a great job.
My POV says, can this pod go 4 hours for the sickos?
No. I think I'm doing 4 hours of potting tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night might go 4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're doing an hour during the day. Yeah. So, what?
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We are not going 4 hours right now.
All right, what else you got? Anything you want to get off your chest?
Jalen Hurts, his leadership has really gone up a notch as well.
We've been talking about practice every day.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, besides, I've missed. I think I've missed 7 shows all year. Or no, that's not true. Because I missed. I can count this. I missed 11 shows this calendar year.
And
so I'm saying like I've had ample time. I was counting the other day. I've done over.
Well, that's the whole business model, my man.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm saying if you said did you have anything you want like.
Okay.
I've had ample time to give my opinion on the show. Is my point. It's not like I've been waiting to share this. You know, we've spoken about Quinyon Mitchell every day of training camp. We've spoken about Moro Ojomo every day of training camp. So I haven't been holding this in my holster for to get off my chest. But yeah, I've done over I think like 560 shows. So yeah.
What's the exact number? Very specific for you to say over 560.
I don't have the exact number.
That's since you started?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What?
I'm just writing it down.
Why?
This could be useful to me at some point.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know the exact number, but why?
But you know it's over 560?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was doing a rough count, but yeah. How are you? What's the
super chat from Shay says, Zach, how are your eyes? Is that an eye emoji? Oh, your fish. How are your fish? Good question.
Breaking news.
You know what? We haven't really talked about the fish in a while.
Yeah.
And hold on, before you tell us about the fish, Zach, we need to tease the people a little bit because if they want to find out how the fish in your life are doing, they're going to need to stick around, Zach, for
overtime. So Bo and Julia, I learned a long time ago the hard way. Time waits for no one. Everyone has their day. And unfortunately, the fish had their day.
Oh.
Back in March.
I can't believe you didn't tell us.
I didn't want to be accused of a fish murderer. I mean, the people at Petco already suspected that.
Okay. Both of them same day?
Same time period.
Okay. This is like the classic situation of the long time married couple. One of them passes away.
Yeah.
They can't live without him.
We went on vacation. And I put fish food in the tank, but a week is a long time to go away.
Wow.
And
wow, this was negligence.
I mean, and
and the horror show when you came home.
Their time
two dead bodies.
But I was very respectful of the fish in their passing.
Okay.
And
buried in the backyard, something like that.
We had a proper goodbye. We didn't have an Ospreys, but we had a proper goodbye for the fish.
Flushed down the toilet?
Yes. But
very Scandinavian.
No, but
Viking funeral.
No, we had a little ceremony with the kids, where we said our words and we said goodbye to the fish.
Yeah.
And we have not replaced them. Some people are replaceable. Some things aren't.
Okay. What about the tank? Does the tank just sit there lifeless? Or have you dismantled the tank?
My wife is a neat freak to the umpteenth degree. I mean, she runs a home organization company, right? And there is not a spice out of sort in our cabinet. There is not there's not an article of clothing unfolded in a drawer, and there would not be an aimless fish tank.
Okay.
Sitting outside our kid's bedroom.
Okay.
And if we were to ever get a new fish, we would get. But what do you do when you go away? I did Google it, and they said you need to get someone to come and feed the fish.
Feels like a euphemism.
I don't have a fish feeder to come to the house when we were gone, and So
now was the tank tossed, or is it somewhere on reserve in case you do get another fish?
No, well, the tank had its day as well. I mean, this tank,
not flushed down the toilet.
No. But I carried the tank down and I threw all the stuff out, and then disposed of the tank.
Now, I got to ask you, because I know that this was part of your calculus in the beginning. You're very worried about the cost efficiency of the different options for the fish. Did you feel like you got your money's worth, knowing that it was really only 8 months worth of fish life?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, 100%. We absolutely got our money's worth.
Okay.
Had a good lesson about personal responsibility in there. But if you do cost per day, we did well, right? I mean, not well enough, but and I also think the fish lost their luster after. I think the kid. I think there was I think at a certain point,
the shine had worn off.
Yeah, they were rewarded for how good they were. That first week of school, and I was in Brazil, and they handled everything. They handled everything so well. And that was their present, was the fish. But it's kind of like, when you're growing up and you get that toy as your birthday gift, right? And you play with it for 2-3 months, and then there has to be another, then there's there's another toy that you want. There's the next thing on the list.
So will there be a new pet?
Well, not in the short term. Sloan is afraid of dogs.
Okay. Me too.
And so there's not going to be a dog. I have a lot of respect for dogs. Joy has a wonderful dog.
Shout out to B.
Shout out to B.
Hopefully not pooping all over the place right now. Okay. Stuff handling up. That's good.
I had a hermit crab when I was younger.
You went right from dog to hermit crab. Okay.
I'm just trying to think of we're not getting a cat.
Okay.
It would need to be something that can be confined in a cage or a tank or something like that.
How about a turtle?
Could do a
Greg
turtle.
Rosenthal has a turtle.
Yeah, I could see that. But honestly,
how about a pony?
A pony? No, a pony. What do you? Pony? No. You know what? If we were to get anything, I think it'd be a parrot.
A parrot.
Yeah, Reed's very interested in how parrots can respond to things. Right.
Okay.
Currently, Alexa serves that purpose for us, right?
Yeah, I think actually a parrot is a good proxy for understanding like ChatGPT. Like,
okay,
it's just mimicking.
Yeah. So no, at this juncture, we're not gonna have a pet. Emily has created like a little garden type thing, so that's a little project, but no pet. No pet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have some more super chats. They're piling in here. CDP says, ZB, please pitch Bo on abundance.
Yeah. Derek Thompson and Ezra Klein did a really good job on this book. Highly recommend it. I mean, I could pitch my own books, but this is a good book. Ezra Klein, I used to sit where Julia is now. I sat that far away from him in the Washington Post office. And
boy, how things have fallen apart there.
At the Post, it's been look, they're going to reinvent themselves. But it's
don't carry their water. Bezos is not going to give you $1 billion because you're giving him the benefit of the doubt right now.
I believe in the.
It's very clear that they are going to reinvent themselves in a bad way.
I have so much respect for Sally Jenkins. And as Sally Jenkins said, they need a resizing there. But yeah, it's not the Washington Post newsroom I was in 2008. But yeah, Ezra Klein he sat like a desk away from me, and now he's like blown up, one of the most one of the biggest podcasters in the world, like a best-selling author, and I am getting made fun of for my grilled cheese recipes. So, yeah,
turkey melt to be precise.
Yeah, he's gone on to big things. But no, it's a good book, Abundance.
And then my Steve Whitaker with a salute to the ZB man. And my POV life says, can we get one last Lolita for the road? Thanks, ZB.
Aloha, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul, my aloha.
Nice.
Yeah. I won't say that. I definitely don't want any type of.
Well, what's the harm now?
Well, I am 39 years old. I want to do this for a long time.
Okay.
And you never know where life takes you. So, yeah.
All right. Before we go, I do want, since you will be persona non grata after this week.
Please, no, I don't want to be in persona non grata. Okay.
Too bad. Now is a good chance for you to tell the folks if they were interested in, they experienced the Super Bowl, but wanting to have a chance to relive it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe learn some things that they didn't know. Any suggestions?
Well, I do hope I can talk about the book on this show at some point. Again, I really hope I can. But yeah, on September 23rd, Leap Year is coming out. The foreword's written by Brandon Graham, and it's a retelling of it takes you through the Super Bowl season, how that roster was put together, the offseason, the stakes of the year, week by week. You can go inside the locker room when they won the Super Bowl. I take you. I wasn't there, but I can take you into the meeting room the night before when they give the speeches. I don't know if you all saw, that footage. A lot of, some good Saquon nuggets in there. So please, I spent a lot of my free time in March and April writing this book, and I'm excited for that to go out. I will do the same thing I did last year, which is if you contact me, I will I will send you a signed copy. You can we can figure out payment, but I am. You guys know where to find me. I gotta say, Twitter, the DMs are a little harder now because I get spammed all the time. I don't know. Do you get that as well?
I don't spend any time.
Okay. Well, you get spammed all the time on that, but you can still DM me there. You can DM me on Instagram, Z_Berman. My email address will be, it won't be hard to find me. Okay. I promise you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll be all over.
Yeah.
Just not here.
I wish I could be. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast. We are back tomorrow at 2:00. Me and Zach, we've got Mina Kimes joining the show. Tomorrow night is the big shebang. The Ospreys at the Hard Rock. Julia and our production staff hard at work at making sure we are ready to go. It's going to be an event to remember. Looking forward to that. Thursday, we will still have a 2:00 show. Fran and I will be doing that one. And instead of a post-game show for the preseason, we're going to just do some sort of 15-minute bite-sized takeaways, and then we'll get into the full takeaways on the next day's show. Like sort of wet the whistle, build up some anticipation for the regular season post-game shows. We don't want to over-deliver right away. And then we'll be back on Friday. Well, no, the Friday is if you don't go to the Ospreys, you'll get to see the Ospreys. So that will be very fun. A good week here, but a sad week. That'll do it for Julia. I'm Bo, and as always,
we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.